Hey guys, it's Restocker here, and today I'll be talking about composite damage, why it's unique, and certain ways that you can deal with it, because we have this little guy who's just been running rampant in a lot of pub games, and he actually has two spells that deal composite damage, the suicide attack as well as landmines. Now, composite damage is often called mixed damage, and this is where a lot of players get confused. They think that it deals both physical as well as magic damage, which is not true at all. In fact, composite damage does 100% physical damage, much like Slardr's Slithering Crush, Dazzle's Poison Touch. It gets reduced by a hero's armor value. Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because it also gets reduced by a hero's magic resistance. So spells like Venge's Magic Missile, we have Sven's Stun, we have Tinker's Rockets, Pugna Blast. Those spells get reduced by magic resistance. So composite damage gets reduced by armor as well as spell resistance. So now you're probably thinking it's one of the worst spell types in terms of dealing damage, and that's somewhat true and somewhat false, because it does go 100% through magic immunity, so it does have that benefit. Much like physical spells such as like Slithering Crush, it will go through BKB and do 100% of damage, regardless whether a unit is magic immune or not. So we'll run some experiments here so I can show you. We have a maxed out landmine. I'm going to place 3 of them here. And we're going to start out with Lifestealer with no extra items to bolster his armor or magic resistance. If I walk over the landmines, you can see I dropped to about 960 HP here. Poor Timbersaw eating the in the explosion aftermath. So I dropped to about 960 HP. So now if I were to place 3 more mines and go magic immune this time, I'll have the exact amount of HP lost. I dropped to about 960 HP. So as you can see, being magic immune actually does nothing for you in terms of defend you against composite damage. Now, if I want to get a little bit more tanky, I can actually get Pipe of Insight to increase my magic resistance, and even though composite damage is a physical type damage, it gets reduced by spell resistance. So yeah, go figure, right? As you can see, I only take about I'm about 300 HP healthier if I didn't have the Pipe of Insight. I dropped to about 950. So I'll refresh that. And another cool thing to note is that since it's 100% physical damage, I'll drop a bunch of mines here just to show you. Even if you pipe your Pop of Insight, it actually won't absorb any damage. As you can see, the barrier is still on you because it does physical damage, and Pipe only absorbs magical. So that's a pretty cool thing to note. However, if you want to really get tanky and bolster up your armor as well as your resistances, you can pick up a lot of items. This is probably a little bit more practical on a hero like Bristleback or something, who will probably pick up some of these items. You can just walk around as if there's no landmines at all. You can see it barely does any damage. The other cool thing is since it's 100% physical damage, and this works like, once again for all composite spells, you can go Scepter, just walk through it like it's no problem. So this also works with Pugna because he has a ethereal form for himself. You can also use this on allies. You get some pretty cool tricks with that. So that's basically how those work. And Timbersaw has a special mention. This is a trick that's a little difficult to do. I'll try to do it on my first try. If you have a landmine, let's say place it about here, and assuming you have at least level 2 into Timber Chain, you can just Superman over the landmines, and as you can see, you take no damage at all. The placement of that is pretty tricky if you only have 2 points of Timber Chain, because its range is not particularly good, and you're able to actually do this because, as you can see, your movement speed actually increases as you level up Timber Chain. You go from 1,600 to 2,800, and you're actually able to do this relatively easier as you get more points into Timber Chain, and you can just kind of mess around with techies that way. If you have some Furion coming in to drop some sprouts, you can do some pretty cool stuff like that. So, yep, that's basically the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, GG.
We come in peace! Do not run! We are your friends!